Yay! I got it to work. Apologize for that taking so long. But hey, I want to thank everyone who's watching, and let's get this thing started. I'm going to start with a song called "The Star of the County Down." To Banbridge town in the county down, one morning last July. Down the Bowling Green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. Well, she looked so neat from her 2 white feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a winsome elf, I had to shake myself to be sure I was standing there. From Bantry Bay out to Derry and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like my brown Colleen that I met at the county down. Well, as she onward sped, I shook my head and I glanced with a feeling rare. And I said, says I to a passerby, who's the maid with the nut brown hair? Well, he smiled at me and then says he, she's the jewel in Ireland's crown. She's a rose back can from the banks of the Banff. She's the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay out to Derry and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met at the county down. At the harvest fair, I'll be surely there, and I'll dress in my Sunday clothes, and I'll try sheep size and wooden lines on the heart of my nut brown rose. No horse I'll yoke, no pipe I'll smoke, letting the fields with dust turn brown, until a smiling bride by my own fireside sits the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay out to Derry and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like a brown Colleen that I met at the county down. And from Bantry Bay out to Derry and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like my brown Colleen that I met at the county down. All right, that was Star of the County Down. I actually first heard that song as it was performed by a band from Germany called Tears for Beers. And they are a hard rock band that plays traditional Celtic and Irish music in hard rock style. They're actually pretty damn cool. So if you get a chance to check them out, do so. Those of you who joined while I was playing that last song, hey, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you tuning in and listening in on this little experiment of mine. If you like the show and if you like, you know, what happens going forward, there is a link in the description that will allow you to give me a tip if you decide to. Can be any amount you desire. And if not, that's okay too, because like I said, this is an experiment. So this next one isn't exactly Irish, but it's one that a lot of my fans enjoy, and a lot of the old Oates fans enjoyed as well. This one's called The Mermaid. 'Twas Friday morning, we set sail, and we were not far from the land. Our captain did spy a mermaid so fair, with a comb and a glass in her hand, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the captain of our gallant ship, and a fine old man was he. This fishy mermaid has told me of our doom. We shall sink to the bottom of the sea, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the mate of our gallant ship, and a fine strapping lad was he. He said, I've a wife in Brooklyn by the sea, tonight a widow she will be, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the cook of our gallant ship, and a crazy old butcher was he. I care much more for my pots and my pans than I do for the bottom of the sea, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the mute of our gallant ship, and a fine young mute was he. And we sank to the bottom of the sea, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. 3 times around spun our gallant ship, and 3 times around spun she. 3 times around spun our gallant ship, and she sank to the bottom of the sea. And the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. That's a good one. I like that one an awful lot. That one I learned from a band called The Fenians, and it's on their album A Parcel of Rogues, which is a very good album. Cheers to all of you. Yes, I know that's an English accent, but I don't know how to do an Irish accent very well. Bushmills. Anyway, so next, let's see. I think I'm going to do, what do you mean we? I think I am going to do a lovely little Irish war song. It's called Follow Me Up to Carlow. Lift my keg off your face, a brooding over the old disgrace that Black Fitzwilliam stormed your place and drove you to the fair. Grace and victory was sure, and soon the firebrand he'd secure until he met the Glenmalure, the Craig McHugh O'Barn. Cuss and swell, Lord Kildare, feck will do, and feck will dare. Now Fitzwilliam, have a care, fallen is your star, low up with halberd, up with sword, on we'll go for by the Lord. Feck McHugh has given his word, follow me up to Carlow. See the swords of Glen and Mail a flashing over the English pale. See all the children of the gale beneath O'Byrne's banner. Rooster of a fighting stock, would you let a Saxon cock crow out upon an Irish rock? Fly up and teach you manners, just and swell, Lord Kildare. Feck will do, and feck will dare. Now Fitzwilliam, have a care, falling is your star. Low up with halberd, up with sword, on we'll go for by the Lord. Feck McHugh has given his word, follow me up to Carlow. Now from Tussock to Clonmore there flows a stream of Saxon gore, and great is Rory Oggamore, it's sending loads to Hades. 92nd grey has fled, now for Black Fitzwilliam's head, we'll send it over dripping red to Liza and her ladies. Cuss and swell, Lord Kildare, feck will do, and feck will dare. Now Fitzwilliam, have a care, fallen is your star. Low up with halberd, up with sword, on we'll go for by the Lord. Feck McHugh has given his word, follow me up to Carlow. That is one of my favorite Irish songs. The Wild Oats recorded that one. I actually can't remember which of the Wild Oats albums it's on. I think it's the first one. I think it's Weedham and Reap, which is available for purchase from my website, but only as a digital download because the actual physical CDs sold out some time ago. All right, so hey, let's keep going. Apparently, I don't actually have any means of getting any direct feedback from you guys, which kind of sucks, but hey, we'll just keep going through this. Oh, here's one of my, here's a really good one. I just learned this one, and I learned it from, actually, I can't remember his name. Anyway, I heard it many years ago, and then I heard it again on an album I recently picked up, and I decided, you know what, I want to learn that one. And I'm going to tune my guitar before I go any further. Eek. How does a string get sharp during play? I don't understand that. Okay. Anyway, That's still not quite right, is it? Tuner says it's okay. Still sounds a little funky to me, but what the hell? It's folk music. I had a first cousin named Arthur McBride. He and I took a stroll down by the seaside for to seek our good fortune and what may betide. 'Twas just as the daylight was dawning, and after we rested, we both took a tramp. We met Sergeant Harper and Corporal Cramp, and besides a wee drummer who beat up our camp with his rowdy dow dow in the morning. He said, "Aye, young fellows, if you will enlist, a guinea quickly will have in your fist, and besides a crown for to kick up the dust and drink the king's health in the morning. Had we been such fools as to take the advance, the morning would leave us no hope of a chance, for he'd think it no scruple to send us to France, where we would be killed in the morning." He said, "Me young fellows, if I hear but one word, I instantly now will out with my sword, and into your bodies as strength will afford. So now, my gay devils, take warning." But Arthur and I, we took in the odds. We gave them no chance for to launch out their swords. Our whack and shillelaghs came over their heads, and we paid them right smart in the morning. As for the young drummer, we rifled his pouch, and we made a football of his rowdy dow dow, and into the ocean to rock and to roll, and bade him a tedious returning. As for the old rapier that hung by his side, we flung it as far as we could in the tide. "For to the devil I pitch you," says Arthur McBride, "to temper your steel in the morning." Yay, Arthur McBride. A cautionary tale about how you should never, ever trust recruiting sergeants. I see we've picked up another couple of viewers. Hello, I'm Evan Brooks. You probably know that already, but hey, you know. Cheers to you again. Okay, I'm gonna go to another song that isn't exactly an Irish song, but it's all about drinking. So I figure it's appropriate. Some friends and I in a public house were playing dominoes one night. Went into the room, the barman came, his face all chalky white. "What's up?" says Brown. "Have you seen a ghost? Have you seen your Aunt Mariah?" "Well, my Aunt Mariah be buggered," said he. "The bloody pub's on fire." "Fire," says Brown. "What a bit of luck. Everybody follow me. Down to the cellar, if the fire's not there, we'll have a rare old spree." So we all went down at the good old Brown, and there the booze was free. And we weren't there 5 minutes before We were drunk and disorderly, and there was Brown, upside down, lapping up the whiskey on the floor. Booze, booze, the firemen cried as they came knocking at the door. Don't let them in till it's all mopped up, somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got blue-blind, paralytic drunk when the old Dun call caught fire. Then Smith ran over to the port wine tub, gave it a few hard knocks, started taking off his pantaloons likewise his shoes and socks. Hold up, says Brown, we can't have that, you can't do that in here. Don't go washing your trotters in the good port wine when there's plenty of Miller beer. And there was Brown, upside down, lapping up the whiskey on the floor. Buzz, buzz, the firemen cried as they came knocking at the door. Don't let them in till it's all mopped up, somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got stone blind, paralytic drunk when the old Dun cow caught fire. Then there came an awful crash, half the bloody roof gave away. We were drowned in the fireman's hose, but we were going to stay. So we got some slats and some old tin tacks, and we nailed ourselves inside. And we sat there swallowing pints of stout until the floor joists above us ignited and the fire sucked all the oxygen out of the room. And we died. And there was Brown, upside down, lapping up the whiskey on the floor. Booze, booze, the firemen cried as they came knocking at the door. Don't let them in till it's all mopped up, somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got stone blind, paralytic drunk when the old Dun cow caught fire. I like that one, especially the rewrite I did on it. So, anyway, for those of you just joining us, I'm Evan Brooks. This is the St. Patrick's Day webcast concert from my living room. Yes, I'm wearing green. This shirt is a green man, as you can see. It's actually given to me by my mother when I was in my teens. And I've kept it all this time, and it hasn't worn out, so that's one very well-made shirt. There's also a link in the description should you decide that you want to tip me. I'm totally cool with that. And if you don't, I'm totally cool with that too. Like I said, this is an experiment. Basically, I'm doing this, A, because I thought it'd be fun, and B, because I thought that this might be something cool to do for the monthly geeky music shows at the Stats for all the people who can't make it to one. So anyway, I am going to do an original piece. It's about a restaurant that actually existed in La Mesa at one time. I've never been there. It sadly no longer exists, but I've been assured by several people that it did at one time exist, and I just had to write a song about it. There's a place in this town where I can be found when there ain't any room at the pub. It's the place I like best when I'm sad or depressed and I'm craving some Far Eastern grub. They have spicy corned beef and fresh cabbage leaf and veggies familiar and odd. Though it's owned by a Hun, he's loved by everyone. When he cooks, we can't help but applaud. He's a good Irish man from a faraway land, and how he got his name I've no clue. But his food is the best from the east to the west at O'Brien's Mongolian BBQ. My friends all arrive at 4:45. If I'm late, they'll save me a seat. So then we take up our bowls and we pile them up full of noodles and veggies and meat. Then O'Brien, he stands with his two magic wands at the circular griddle and chants. We don't know what he does, but we don't care because the result makes us get up and dance. He's a good Irish man from a faraway land, and how he got his name I've no clue. But his food is the best from the east to the west at O'Brien's Mongolian BBQ. So come to O'Brien's. See, I'm not lying. It's the strangest place you've ever seen. For it's shaped like a yurt, and the floor is bare dirt, and it's all decorated in green. But the best part of all, you can get alcohol. The kumis flows potent and clear. It'll get you so pissed you won't know what you've missed. But for Paddy's sake, don't drink the beer. He's a good Irish man from a faraway land, and how he got his name I've no clue. But his food is the best from the east to the west at O'Brien's Mongolian BBQ. He's a good Irish man from a faraway land. His stuff's better than Mum's Irish stew. So we'll drink to his fortune as he serves us our portion of O'Brien's Mongolian BBQ. There's also a funny little story that goes along with that song. According to my bass player in my band, IMHO, Wolf Klauschy, according to him, they went there several times, him and his wife at the time. They went there several times, and like the third or fourth time they went, there was this redhead standing behind the counter, you know, tall, cream-colored skin, redhead, freckles, and they're like, "Oh, that's O'Brien." And the guy says, "No, he's O'Brien," pointing to the Mongolian working at the griddle. Anyway, well, we're just about halfway through. Thanks for hanging out with me. Ooh, this is a good one. This is one I don't do very often, but I'm gonna give it a shot. It's one of those Irish songs that a lot of people have heard, but a lot of people have heard like totally different versions of. So I'm gonna sing the version that I made up, sort of. I cherry-picked, actually. So this is As I Roved Out. As I roved out on a May morning, right early. As I roved out on a May morning, right early. I spotted a lass beside the road and but she was darling with a midroom rye and a bottle little die. Hey Leo, my little darling, no. And who are you, my pretty fair maid? And who are you, me honey? And who are you, my pretty fair maid? And who are you, me honey? She answered me quite modestly, I am me mother's darling, with a midroom rye and a bottle little die. Hey Leo, my little darling, no. Will you come to me mother's house when the moon is shining clearly? Will you come to me mother's house when the moon is shining clearly? I'll open the door and I'll let you in, and devils one will hit us with a midroom rye and a bottle little die. Hey Leo, my little darling, no. So I went to her house in the middle of the night when the moon was shining clearly. And I went to her house in the middle of the night when the moon was shining clearly. She opened the door and she let me in, and devils the one did hear us with a midroom rye and a bottle little lie. Hey Leo, my little darling, she took me by the lily white hand and she led me to her chamber. She took me by the lily white hand and she led me to her chamber. She took me in and she laid me down and said, lad, are you able with a midroom rye and a bottle little die? Hey Leo, my little darling, no. And there we lay till the breaking of the day, and it was the one did hear us. Yes, there we lay till the breaking of the day, and it was the one did hear us. Then she arose, put on her clothes, and said, now you must leave me with a midroom rye and a bottle little lie. Hey Leo, my little darling, no. And when may I return again? And when will we be married? Oh, when may I return again? And when will we be married? Oh, when broken shells make crystal bells, why then shall we be married? With a midroom rye and a bottle little die. Hey Leo, my little darling, no. So I went to a house in the middle of the night when the moon was shining clearly. Yes, I went to a house in the middle of the night when the moon was shining clearly. She opened the door and she let me in, and devils the one did hear us with a midroom rye and a bottle little die. Hey Leo, my little darling, no. I hadn't realized, I hadn't remembered exactly how risque that song was, so I apologize if I offended anyone's sensibilities, although knowing my fans, I doubt I did. Whew! Hey, that's some good risque. Okay, what do we have left? Oh, this is a fun one. There it is. Yes, that's. Actually, I'm not sure if I remember how to play this. Orion was a man of might when Ireland was a nation, but poaching was his chief delight and constant occupation. He had an old militia gun, certain sure his aim was he gave the keepers many a run, for he did not care for game laws. St. Patrick he was passing by Orion's little Holden, and as the saint was feeling dry, he thought he'd have a stroll. And Orion says, the saint, my son, to preach in church I'm going, so let me have a drap. Let me have a rasher and a drop of ale a showin'. Says he, no rasher's good for you, well better I've to spare, sir. So here's a jug of the Mountain Dew, and there's a rattling hair, sir. St. Patrick, he looks mighty sweet, says he, say God attend ya. When you're in your winding sheet, it's up above, I'll send ya. Orion gives his pipe a whiff, these tidings are transporting, but would your saint you tell me if there's any kind of sport? St. Patrick says a lion's there, 2 bears, a bull, and can, sir. Be God, says Ryan, the hunting's rare. St. Paddy, I'm your man, sir. So to conclude my story right, for fear I'll tire your tail. Yeah, let's try that again. So to conclude my story right, for fear I'll tire your patience, you'll see Orion many nights amid the constellations, and Venus follows in his track, while Mars grows jealous daily. Be God, he bears the Irish knack of handling the shillelagh. Okay, so it's been a while since I did that one. But hey, you know, like I said, this is an experiment. Now, there is a song that we did, that the Wild Oats did, I should say, on on our second album, A Few Oats Shy of a Haggis. And this is featured on an album by Gaelic Storm, and Gaelic Storm is the band that played in the movie Titanic, the steerage band. It was Gaelic Storm, and they released an album shortly after that, and it had this song on it. And the Oats decided, hey, let's play that. Tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb, but that's all right till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is a belle of Belfast City. She is a courting 1, 2, 3. Pray, won't you tell me who is she now? Albert Mooney says he loves her, and all the boys are fighting for her. Knocking on the door and ringing on the bell, saying, oh, my true love, are you well? Here she comes as white as snow, with her rings on her fingers and belt on her toe. Old Jenny Murphy says she'll die if she doesn't get the fella with the roving eye. Tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb, but that's all right till I come home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is a courting 1, 2, 3. Pray, won't you tell me who is she? Let the wind and the rain and the hail blow high, and the snow come a-tumbling from the sky. She's as nice as apple pie, and she'll get her own land by and by. When she gets a land of her own, she won't tell them how when she comes home. Let them all come as they will, it's Albert Mooney she loves still. I do me, Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb, but that's all right till I come home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is a belle of Belfast City. She is a courting 1, 2, 3. Pray, won't you tell me who is she? She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is a courting 1, 2, 3. Pray, won't you tell me who is she? Well, I see we're about 3/4 of the way through. 3/4 of the way through, and I've got 2 songs left. Okay, I did not plan for sufficient padding, obviously. But that's okay. I'll throw in something else. Well, I tend to play this song at you know, for St. Paddy's Day, even though it's not Irish, it's Scottish. But you know, in Irish songs, everyone dies, and in Scottish songs, it gets even grimmer. This is called Twa Corbies. As I was walking all alone, I saw Twa Corbies making moan, and one unto the other did say, oh, where shall we go and dine today? Oh, where shall we go and dine today? It's all behind yon fallen dyke. I walked, I saw a new slain knight, and name and kins, and he lay there, oh, but his hound and his hawk and his lady fair, oh, hound and his hawk and his lady fair. His hound has to the hunting gone, his hawk to bring the wild fowl home. His lady's ta'en another maid, oh, so we can make our dinner sweet, oh, we can make our dinner sweet. I'll sit upon his white breastbone, and I'll pluck out his bonny blue eye, and with a lock of his golden hair, oh, we'll pick our nest when it grows bare, oh, pick our nest when it grows bare. There's many a man for him makes moan, no one kens where he has gone, through his white bones when they are bare, oh, the wind shall blow forevermore, the wind shall blow forevermore. Now, there's an American version of that song that's called Two Ravens. Or no, it's called Three Ravens. Not sure where the third raven comes in. And that was apparently the favorite song of the former Baron of Calafia, Lanky. And shortly after Baron Talanki's death, they held a memorial bardic circle at Potrero War. And a bunch of people sang Three Ravens, and I said, if you don't mind, I'd like to play the Scottish version of that song, and I played it, and as soon as it was over, you know, everyone is appreciative, and one guy shouts out, "Leave it to the Scots to make a grim song even grimmer." Yes, leave it to the Scots. All right. Well, this is an Irish song, although those of you who have watched any documentaries about the Revolutionary War may actually recognize this as being, oh, played on a piccolo. Says my old one to your old one, will you go to the Waxy's Dargle? Says your old one to my old one, well, I haven't got a Dargle. I went down to Monto Town for to see Uncle Ricardo. Ah, but he would not give me a half-crown for to go to the Waxy's Dargle. What'll you have? Will you have a pint? I'll have a pint with you, sir. And if one of us doesn't order soon, we'll be tossed out of the boozer. Says my old one to your old one, will you go to the Galway races? Says your old one to my old one, well, I'll hock me man's braces. I beat feet to Chapel Street for to see the moneylenders. Ah, but they would not give me a couple of bob for the old man's red suspenders. What'll you have? Will you have a pint? I'll have a pint with you, sir. And if one of us doesn't order soon, we'll be tossed out of the boozer. Says my old one to your old one, we have no beef nor mutton, but if we go down to Monto Town, we might get a drink for nothing. Here's a nice piece of advice I heard from an old fishmonger. Ah, when food is scarce and you see the hares, then you know you've died of hunger. What'll you have? Will you have a pint? I'll have a pint with you, sir. And if one of us doesn't order soon, we'll be tossed out of the boozer. Oh, I give up. Why is it that I can whistle all these parts perfectly in my car going to and from work, but as soon as I'm actually performing, I can't whistle worth a damn? Oh well. All right, well, there's one song left on the official playlist. And it's one that doesn't even require the guitar. That's not to say that I'll be done when this song is done, because, well, there's 9 minutes left before 9 o'clock, or before 7 o'clock. And this song is not going to take 9 minutes. Good sir, I write this note to you to tell you of my plight. For at the time of writing it, I'm not a pretty sight. My body is all black and blue, my face a deathly gray. And I write this note to tell why Paddy's not at work today. Well, working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear, but tossing them down from such a height was not a good idea. My foreman wasn't mighty pleased, called me an awkward sod, and he said I'd have to cart them down the ladders in me hod. But clearing all those bricks by hand, it was so awful slow. So I hoisted up a barrel and secured a rope below. But in my haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barrel full of building bricks was heavier than me. When I untied the rope, the barrel started down like lead, and clinging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. I shot up like a rocket, and to my dismay I found that halfway up I met the bloody barrel coming down. The barrel broke me shoulder, as to the ground it sped, and when I reached the top I banged the pulley with me head. But I hung on tightly numb with shock from this almighty blow, as the barrel spilled out half its bricks, some 14 floors below. And when the bricks had fallen from the barrel to the floor, I then outweighed the barrel and so started down once more. But I hung on tightly to the rope, my body racked with pain. And halfway down, I met the bloody barrel once again. The force of this collision, halfway down the office block, caused multiple abrasions and a nasty case of shock. But I hung on tightly to the rope as I sped towards the ground, and I landed on the broken bricks, the barrel scattered round. And as I lay there on the ground, I thought I'd passed the worst, but the barrel struck the pulley, and then the bottom burst. A shower of bricks rained down on me. I didn't have a hope. As I lay there, losing consciousness, I let go the bloody rope. The barrel being heavier, it started down once more. It landed right across me as I lay there on the floor. It broke 3 ribs and my left arm. And I can only say that I hope you'll understand why Paddy's not at work today. Someone is texting me. Thank you, Wayne. Wayne Beach, my friend Wayne Beach texted me and said, "It's the whiskey, makes whistling difficult." Thank you, I needed that laugh. Well, there's 5 minutes left. I'm going to completely abandon the Irish theme, and, well, what else is green? Cthulhu. Because, you know, it's me. Hey there, Cthulhu. Down there in your sunken city, you're a billion light years distant, and the stars look very pretty from relay. So close and yet so far away. E-ah-e-ay. Cthulhu Fatagan, or is that Cthulhu Fatine? I can never quite remember, 'cause I'm not in my right mind since I met you. No one corrupts the way you do. You know it's true. Oh, it's what you'll do to me. Oh, and all humanity. Oh, you'll rise up from the sea. Oh, kill everyone slowly, except the ones like me. Hey there, Cthulhu, I've been studying your gospel, the Necronomicon. It gives me nightmares, something awful where I see the death of all reality. It fills me with glee. So when the stars are right, you'll come and do your worst, but that's okay, because I know you'll eat the cultists like me first when you get here. I know that day is drawing near. I have no fear. Oh, it's what you'll do to me. Oh, and all humanity. Oh, you'll rise up from the sea. Oh, kill everyone slowly. A billion light years seems so far below the sea. Beyond the stars of these humans' putrid souls, you'll drink your fill. The fools will all make fun of me, but But I'll just laugh maniacally, 'cause no one's ever suffered like they will. Cthulhu, I can promise you that by the time this cult gets through, the world will never ever be the same. Praise your dark name. Then glui McCluna Thulu Rilya Wagna Vitagan. Boy, that's really quite a mouthful. Can't quite cram it in my noggin, not today. I try to say it anyway. I feel my soul begin to fray. Still I await that frabjous day, Cthulhu Calais. Oh, it's what you'll do to me. Oh, and all humanity. Oh, you'll rise up from the sea. Oh, kill everyone but me. Everyone but me. Oh, oh, oh. Thank you all very much for watching. It is now 7 o'clock, which means this show is officially over. Again, thank you for helping me out with this experiment. And hey, maybe I'll broadcast the show on Saturday, but I have to get permission from Allison first. But at any rate, again, thank you very much. If you enjoyed the show, there is a link in the description where you can send me a tip via PayPal. Or not, your choice. Either way, thank you all very much, and catch you next time.